This morning, James Comey testified in front of the Senate Intelligence Committee. Put Michael's thing down just for the time being. Testified in front of the Senate, the Senate Intelligence Committee. And James Comey is still defending his rationale for sending the letter to Congress. I actually think the subsequent exchange with Sheldon Whitehouse was also pretty good. But, here it is. This keeps playing out. I think the Democrats believe that it is effective in maintaining the fervor of the resistance. And we also have the clip of Hillary Clinton saying something similar. Look, I think it is a real problem for Democrats to mutually to exclusively rely on this. But the reality is that with the broad, uninformed public who is not going to get as jazzed about the idea of, expansion of Social Security or the universality of a free college, that this type of stuff has its place. Donald Trump is at a very low approval rating. The Democrats just absolutely, totally rolled the Republicans in terms of the budget. Now, it's only till September, but it's big time. We'll talk about it in a bit. But nevertheless, here's Dianne Feinstein pursuing this line of questioning. And, of course, Comey's answer is completely insufficient. I mean, this is why you have policies.
Here's how I thought about it. I'm not trying to talk you into this, but I want you to know my thinking. Having repeatedly told this Congress, we are done and there's nothing there, there's no case there, there's no case there, to restart in a hugely significant way, potentially finding the emails that would reflect on her intent from the beginning,
potentially,
and not speak about it would require an act of concealment, in my view. And so I stared at speak and conceal. Speak would be really bad. There's an election in 11 days. Lordy, that would be really bad. Concealing, in my view, would be catastrophic. Not just to the FBI, but well beyond.
Pause
and
it.
Honestly,
look. Remember the context here. I mean, this is like an incredibly disingenuous statement. The idea that if you set it up, I mean, I can understand from his perspective rhetorically why he wants to set it up as to speak or conceal. But you know what? There's nothing being concealed here. They didn't know anything. And James Comey concealed from Congress what's going on with his investigations with Trump associates for months after he was inaugurated. They concealed it. I mean, remember, the first time he went in front of the Intelligence Committee was, 3 or 4 weeks ago?
He's a liar.
So this is incredibly disingenuous. I think, of course, we saw that New York Times piece that suggested he just thought that she was going to win and wanted to maintain its credibility. It's a little bit harder for him to say that because what was the credibility being maintained for? I believe it was to ultimately bring some type of indictments against Trump or Trump's associates. But here, let's let him continue to be stupid and sort of lie.
as between really bad and catastrophic, I said to my team, we've got to walk into the world of really bad. I've got to tell Congress that we're restarting this, not in some frivolous way, in a hugely significant way. And the team also told me we cannot finish this work before the election.
Hugely significant? You had 5 or 6 or 10 people looking at 6,000 emails over the course of a week or two that had no evidentiary, and maybe you didn't know this at the time, but you didn't know it, right? It's that's also saying for all as we know, there could be stuff all over the place that if we started to look for, we would find. But they did not know that this stuff had any relevance beyond the fact that it existed.
And then they worked night after night after night, and they found thousands of new emails. They found classified information on Anthony Weiner. Somehow, her emails are being forwarded to Anthony Weiner, including classified information, by her assistant, Huma Abedin. And so they found thousands of new emails and then called me the Saturday night before the election and said, thanks to the wizardry of our technology, we've only had to personally read 6,000. We think we can finish tomorrow morning, Sunday. And so I met with them. And they said, we found a lot of new stuff. We did not find anything that changes our view of her intent. So we're in the same place we were in July. It hasn't changed our view. And I asked them lots of questions. And I said, okay, if that's where you are, then I also have to tell Congress that we're done. Look, this was terrible. It makes me mildly nauseous to think that we might have had some impact on the election.
Pause it. Mildly nauseous? You know, in a society where public servants take themselves seriously, if you think that you did something that impacted the outcome of arguably the most important election in the country, you know what you would do? Resign. Not just get mildly, I have a mild upset stomach.
That's a little harsh.
I have a mild
It's a little
upset stomach. I may have to take a Zyrtec or
No,
whatever.
I would like to say, Senator, that if we nuke North Korea, I might have a full-fledged boo-boo. Like, I feel really bad.
Continue.
But honestly, it wouldn't change the decision. Everybody who disagrees with me has to come back to October 28th with me and stare at this and tell me what you would do.
Pause
Would
it.
you
I'll tell you what I would do. I would say, boy, what's policy say on this? What does the stated policy say on
Follow
this?
FBI procedure.
What does the FBI and Department of Justice policy explicitly say about this situation? Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to defer to policy.
speak or would you conceal? And I could be wrong, but we honestly made a decision between those two choices that even in hindsight, and this has been one of the world's most painful experiences, I would make the same decision. I would not conceal that on October 28th from the Congress. And I sent a letter to Congress. By the way, people forget this. I didn't make a public announcement. I sent a private letter to the chairs and the rankings of the oversight committees. I know it's a distinction without a difference in the world of leaks, but it was very important that I tell them instead of concealing. And reasonable people can disagree, but that's the reason I made that choice. And it was a hard choice. I still believe in retrospect the right choice, as painful as this has been. And I'm sorry for the long answer.
You know, I would have loved the next question, like, who released that information? We know who it was. It was Jason Chaffetz, wasn't it? Or was it?
That's my understanding.
Well, he's not in the Intel committee, is he?
I thought wasn't also oversight that he sent it to. I thought he said it. He said to all the relevant committees. If it was not him, then it might have been. Oh, who's on intelligence? Our old friend
Nunez,
the midnight lurker.
Who's James Comey
but
been
nevertheless,
taking sad face classes from?
Mike Pence.
Yeah,
Mike Pence. I am so almost mildly nauseous at this. I am almost mildly nauseous. Hi, folks. It's Sam Seder. You know me from just a minute ago. Listen, we've had a problem on YouTube. Let me make a graphic visualization. Back in March, our revenue and the ads that were monetized was a lot, like here. And now, over the course of actually within a day into April, it's down to about here. Now, this is just a artist rendering, but that's basically it. We were here, and now we're here. That's because of some YouTube thing where advertisers were concerned on being on hate sites. And of course, we're a news organization that sometimes talks about hateful people, and we got caught up in their algorithm. I thought it would be fixed by now. It's not. We need your help to keep giving you free content on YouTube. We don't have the advertiser support that we had even back, here. So we're looking for your help. Go to our Patreon site, give a couple of bucks. Literally, you could give a couple, and it would be very helpful. Head over there. Here's the link right here or down there. It's somewhere around here. Find it and go help us out. Thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of the show.